sir. So, the nutshell of the problem of our critical analysis entitled Development Education, and we choose the Education Inequality. So, development refers to a specified state of advancement or growth. It could also be used to describe a new advanced idea or products or an event that constitutes a new stage under changing circumstances. So, the first thing that crossed into our mind when we heard the development is changing, growth, and improvement. So generally, the term development describes as a good change. So according to Ian Harris 2003, describes the goal of the development communication as building peaceful communities by promoting an active democratic citizenry interested in the equitable sharing of the world's resources. So, education is the process of training man to fulfill his aims by exercising at the faculties to the fullest extent as a member of the society. And another one is education, the process of receiving or giving systematic instructions, especially at a school or university. So it aims at increasing awareness and understanding of the rapidly changing, interdependent, and unequal world in which we live. It aims to deepen understanding and encourage people towards taking action for a more just and equal world. And development education, in short, works to tackle the root causes of injustice and inequality globally and locally. Okay, so the problem 3 that we make is this. So we have this problem, education inequality, and we have these causes and effects. So we start with the problem. Our problem is the education inequality of the students, and the causes are its geographic root, the socio-economic corruption root, class inequality, and income inequality. So because of income inequality kasi, magkakaroon ng class inequality dahil sa kakulangan minsan ng pera, no, mahihirapan yung mga estudyanteng mag-aral kasi yun nga, kulang yung mga parents natin ng kakayahan, and then the class inequality will go to education inequality. And another one is the corruption root. Because of corruption, magkakaroon din ng education inequality, the socio-economic and the geographic root. And because all of these five na the cause why there is education inequality, then the effects of all of these are this inequality of opportunity, the political inequality, and the social inequality.
Hello, my name is Norhannah D. Zaman. I will be the next presenter of this group about education inequality. Now, since we already know the cause and effects of education inequality, I am now going to continue discussing the topic about who are the stakeholders of this topic. The expected person to give solution to these problems are the Department of Education, Commission on Higher Education, the DILG, the LGUs, school administrators, the teachers, support staff, students, and parents. Now, what are their role? The Department of Education, or DepEd, formulates, implements, and coordinates policies, plans, programs, and projects in the areas of formal and non-formal basic education. While the Commission on Higher Education in the Philippine government agency is in charge with promoting relevant and higher quality education, ensuring access to quality higher education, and guaranteeing and protecting academic freedom for continuing intellectual growth, advancement of learning and research, development of responsible and effective leadership, education of higher level professionals, and enrichment of historical and cultural heritage. The DILG formulates policies, plans, and programs to enhance local autonomy, focusing particularly on the administrative, technical, and fiscal capacities of LGUs. The Local Government Academy or LGA is the key capacity development arm of DILG. Next is the LGU. The resources that LGU provide to the basic education sectors from their general fund are quite significant at 7% of total general government spending on basic education in 2001 to 2008. Thus, the LGU is considered major partnership in the national government in the delivery of basic education services. While district and school administrators are responsible for providing instructional leadership and developing, implementing, and evaluating district and school system and policies. So the district administrators include superintendents and central administrations staff under the direction of a school board and of course the teachers. The teachers simplify the complex and makes abstract concepts accessible to the student. The teachers also expose children to ideas and topics that they might otherwise not have come into contact with. They can expand on interest and push their students to do better. We are also expecting the support staff of the school to support the important role in ensuring students in their learning, safe and supportive learning environment. They can foster positive, interesting relationship with the student and improve school climate by encouraging parent and family involvement in their students' education. Also, with the participation of the student. As learners, students play a crucial and active role in education. They involve and interact with students and teachers, participate in classroom discussions, and act in a receptive manner. And lastly, the parents. As a good connection with the school lets parents understand the curriculum better and the advancement of their children. It also helps them feel more comfortable and happier with the quality of education. Now, let us know the possible intervention about how development education can be part of education inequality. Development education aims to raise awareness and understanding of how global issues affect the everyday lives of individuals, communities, and societies. It is about teaching and learning awareness of issues related to development, the environment, and sustainability, and understanding the personal, local, national, and global significance of these issues. Development education raises questions about our role and responsibilities in an increasingly unequal world where millions of peoples are denied their basic rights. It is relevant to any curriculum area, age group, and both to informal settings as well as nurseries, schools, colleges, and universities. Developmental education is a comprehensive research-based framework that empowers underprepared learners to achieve intellectual, social, and emotional growth. Development education includes, but it is not limited to, coursework, tutoring, personal counseling, career counseling, and academic advisement. High levels of inequality reduce growth in relative poor countries but encourage growth in richer countries. According to a recent paper by NBER Research Associate Robert Barrow in Equality, Growth and Investment, Barrow studies a board panel of countries between 1960 and 1995 and finds that growth tends to fall when great inequality when income per capita is less than $2,000, and to raise with inequality when income per capita is more than $2,000. He therefore concluded that income equalization policy might be justified on the grounds of promoting growth in poor countries. However, active income redistribution appears to involve a trade-off between the benefit of greater inequality and a reduction in overall economic growth. Barrow further shows that the overall relationship between income inequality and growth and investment is weak. Education, in every sense, is one of the fundamental factors of development. No country can achieve sustainable economic development without a substantial investment in human capital. Education raises people's productivity and creative and promotes entrepreneurship and technological advances. In addition, it plays a very crucial role in securing economic and social progress and improving income distribution. So that's all for my report.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Nasrimah M. Ibrahim, your next presenter. Okay, so our chosen problem is education inequality as a barrier. Because education has and will continue to be significant in our society. It is considered the backbone of our society. Thus, lack of education gives birth to numerous social problems like poor health, poor living standard, income inequality, which I know we are all familiar with this famous phrase, which is the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, and also lack of opportunities or inequality of opportunities, and many more social problems. It is right of every child to attend a proper education. However, due to income disparity, less fortunate citizens are less likely to obtain educational opportunities. Even with high value of education, it continues to be inaccessible and deprived of to the most parts of our society, especially with those in rural or remote areas. So now, let's proceed to our theory of change in order for you to be enlightened with our chosen problem. Okay, so after knowing the stakeholders and the interventions, we are now going to learn about the theory of change. Okay, so the problem is the education inequality as a barrier. Education inequality is the unequal distribution of academic resources, including but not limited to school funding, qualified and experienced teachers, books and technologies to socially excluded communities. These communities tends to be historically disadvantaged and oppressed. Okay, so the possible intervention of the development of education is to have an education that is quality education. Development of education is an approach to peace education that promotes a vision of positive peace, one that motivates people to struggle against injustice.
Okay, so we have three inputs here. The first one is experts, the next one is fundings, and the last one is policies and values. So let's start with the expert. So the activities of this first input is consultation with different stakeholders or with experts. So it's like accepting school aid program from different organizations, rolling out plans to maintain access to education, and pushing for alternative education. So the outputs are the awareness, improved health habit and individual social awareness, participative decision making, collaboration, effective teachers development strategies, and the outcomes will be to attend or to achieve quality or effective decision making, achieve strategic plans, and develop an inquiry-based project. So that is the first input. Well-equipped educators with teaching techniques and or learning materials. Okay, so the next input is funding. So the activities involved here is fundraising, public NGOs, private partnership, and the outputs are the strong financial support and higher teachers' salary. So it will help to support and fund the basic education learning plan of the Department of Education or DepEd and Commission on Higher Education or CHED. So it will seek to support families at high risk of losing learning opportunities. And beside higher teacher salary, with more salary comes a more motivated and active teacher. So this is to keep Filipino teachers do not leave from the country and became an asset to our country in ensuring a competitive graduate. So the outcomes here is effective government intervention, achieve the right to access education in all levels. Thus, through funding, we can provide more assistance to deserving but poor Filipino learners. Yes, we have a lot of scholarship programs in the Philippines, but then there's still a lot of deserving students who cannot and do not avail them for a lot of reasons. So the DepEd should consider giving more basic system in provinces and closely monitor their beneficiaries to make sure they finish their studies. That is why funding is the other great inputs we have in education inequality. So that is the second input. Okay, so in line with the second input, which is fundings, it is also effective to achieve this proper utilization of schools, maintenance and other operating expenses or also known as MOOE, and reaching stakeholders for support such as PTA, alumni, private organizations, and NGOs. Now, moving on to the last input, we have policies and values. So with this, it is in line with commitment, transparency, accountability, sincerity, participation, humility, and rule of law. So the activities involved here is seminars and workshops. Thus, teachers in public schools should have more training, seminars and workshops to improve the quality of teaching that they can provide to students. So seminars like international seminars for them to learn from others, for them to learn from other countries so that it will benefit their teaching. They will learn equality of teaching that they will soon provide to their students. And campaign. So plan and run equality education awareness campaign so that would be effective. The outcome of this, the outputs rather, are decision based on principles and values, effective advocators, while the outcomes are the effective government intervention. With their effective interventions, we can achieve the right to access education in all levels. After knowing those inputs, activities, outputs, and outcomes, we are now going to know our goal. So our goal is to have accessible quality education for all. So ensuring that all have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education. Ensuring equal access for all for affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, and build and upgrade education facilities that are child disability and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive, and effective learning environment for all. Build and upgrade education facilities. Substantially increase the supply of qualified teachers. Substantially expand globally the number of scholarship available to developing countries. And now, it will shape away the challenges to further improve the status of remote learning. It will enhance the global attainment of literacy, numeracy, and basic skills. Basic skills and competencies needed in the 21st century. It will increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills and eliminate gender disparities in education. And lastly, to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development. That is to have an accessible quality education for all. No to education inequality, yes to quality education. Yes to accessible quality education for all. That's all, and thank you.